Okay. Okay. Okay, in this question I'm going to type directly into the box, but you don't have to. You can always take the notes and then write the summary later.
How many species of cockroach are known till date?
Almost 30 species of cockroach are known. Among the known ones, the American cockroach is 30 millimeters long. The German and the Asian cockroach are 15 millimeters long. The tropical cockroaches are bigger, and the oriental cockroach is about 25 millimeters. Carboniferous and Permian are extinct species. They were so big that they were called pests instead of insects.
I read somewhere that termites have evolved directly from cockroaches.
Possibly. This is because cockroaches found in Russia and China are wood-eating. Otherwise, they are omnivores.
Which climate are they found in?
They are found generally in tropical and subtropical climates.
In our houses, they are found around garbage or in the kitchen.
That's because they get a lot to eat there.
So alright, so the lecture was mainly about the cockroaches and their different species. Okay, so I'm going to start writing the summary. Okay, so I'll start with the introduction. The lecture was mainly about cockroaches. Okay, so yeah, you got to know the spelling of the cockroaches, otherwise you'll lose marks. So, okay, so in the beginning, the speaker covered many topics which include, okay, so I guess this was 30 species of cockroaches. Okay, American cockroaches are 30 millimeter long, but I think I should go with I will write American cockroaches, American, and I'll write American and Asian cockroaches. Okay, I'm not going to write 30 millimeter long, and you can write, okay, always. Okay, I think that should be enough. Okay, so tropical, okay, let me get to the next line over here. In addition, we also discussed other aspects such as, I think I'll take this oriental cockroaches over here, and oriental cockroaches such as extinct species, pests, insects, termites. Termites are the cockroaches, like, you know, the small creatures that we find in our house. They normally eat wood. Okay, Russia, China. Okay, make sure you make capital R and capital C because they are names. She said that cockroaches found in Russia and China are wood-eating animals, but I'll just write wood-eating and omnivorous. Animals. Okay, now finally the speaker said that subtropical cockroaches are generally found in kitchen. Okay, she said that we find normally the cockroaches we find normally in kitchen because they can find food there. The garbage in kitchen. Because of food. Okay, that's simple. Okay, that's 69 words, so which is perfect, which is just under the limit of 70 words. Let's check now our summary. Can see if we did make any grammatical or spelling mistakes. Extinct. Okay, that's correct. Insects, termites, Russian, China, wood-eating and omnivorous animals. Finally, the speaker said that subtropical cockroaches are generally okay. Okay, it looks okay to me. Okay, still we got almost 2 minutes and 40 seconds left. In the test you can there is no need to click next and move on to the next question, because the time that you save from here will not be carried forward to the next question, so you can take as much time as you need. Okay, use all the entire 10 minutes to check and recheck your answer. You can always find some mistakes. Okay, for this video I'm now going to click next because I think I have checked everything. Okay, so I'm just going to move on to the next questions. Okay, so this is multiple choice, multiple answer. Okay, make sure you always read those questions first, because very important. Then you need to know what you are going to listen to in the recording. Okay, and listen to the recording very carefully.
During World War II, the island of Guam was occupied by the Japanese military. Soon after the island was freed by the U.S. forces in 1944, brown tree snakes appeared. It is thought they made their way through an American cargo ship. For the predatory snakes, which grow up to 8 feet in length, Guam was a food-filled paradise. As they feasted on the island's defenseless native animals, their population exploded, reaching peak density of 20+ snakes per acre of jungle. These snakes wiped 10 out of 12 native forest birds off the island. The killing of birds triggered a domino effect. Without birds to spread tree seeds, the forests thinned out. Meanwhile, populations of spiders, which had previously been kept in check by birds, surged. The problem didn't stop there. The snakes also climbed from trees to electrical lines, causing frequent power outages. Today, although snake control measures heavily suppress them in key areas, there are thought to be over 2 million of these nocturnal predators on the island.
Okay, what problems did the snake cause on the island? I think they did not leave any predators alive on the island. No, they killed the birds which had helped the. I think this was correct. They killed the birds. Okay, no, this one is definitely wrong. The cost frequently because they climb on the that was there. Spiders, no, spider they didn't spike. Actually spiders grew because of there were no birds. Okay, so definitely these two has to be correct because there are at least two correct. Okay, I'm going to click next, move on to the next question. Okay, this is listening, fill in the blanks. Let's listen to it very carefully. Again, I'm going to type directly into the boxes, but you don't have to. You can always take the notes and later type into the boxes.
You just imagine the benefits of a machine like robotic grass cutter that can mow large amounts of grasslands in no time. Earlier, this work could never be done without employing one driver each for a tractor. Research is being carried out at the Warwick Manufacturing Group to make these grass cutters function in an autonomous manner. There is a project on developing multiple grass mowers which would be eventually controlled by a computer and work independently.
I must say that the one robot I particularly found to be fantastic was the milker. Isn't it a really fantastic idea to have a cow milked by a robot? This robot involves several techniques like a laser locator, suction tubes, and vacuum-activated rubber rings. The milk is automatically stored in a refrigeration tank made of aluminum.
There certainly have been revolutionary achievements in this field in the past few decades, as the work in this direction began only as far back as 1980s at farm machinery laboratories of various universities.
Okay, I didn't hear this one over here. Okay, vacuum is correct. Revolutionary grass. There is a project on developer. Okay, so this one is definitely I didn't get it. I think it should be. I would write it was something from M. Okay. Well, I would write cutters because I think here's cutters. Okay, never mind. So fantastic. The spelling of fantastic, I'm pretty sure it's correct. Okay, robotic, fantastic, vacuum, revolutionary. Okay, let's click next.
What is a little magazine? It is, well, very often they were big. Big in format and size. They were little because their circulation was small. These were the funded on a shoestring magazines that rose up and very frequently faded away just as quickly in the 1910s and 1920s, and that were in many cases, the first avenue of publication for Stevens, Eliot, Moore, the poets that you will be reading in this class. These magazines were acutely aware of their differences from the popular literary magazines of the 19th century, general interest popular magazines of the 20th century, magazines with wide circulation, polite audiences. The little magazine was addressed to new young writers and artists, and they were determined to make trouble.
Okay. Okay, so the first answer is circulation. That's okay. The spelling is given over here, so you can sometimes find the spelling in the text itself. So okay, I think circulation. Okay, this was faded. That's correct. Avenue, addressed, aware. I think circulation is still wrong. My bad. Okay, circulation. All right. Okay, did some spines. Okay, let's click next. Move on to the next question. Okay, this is highlight correct summary. Again, you will have to be very concentrate on the recording. Okay.
Earlier, the simplest way to protect feet was to grab what was handy, a bark, large leaves, and grass. and tie them under the foot with vines. In hot countries, this developed into the sandal made from woven palms, grass, or plant fibers, and attached to the foot with toe loops. Examples of early sandals have been found in Japan, Polynesia, and America. It is known that early man used the skins of slaughtered animals for clothing. He eventually discovered how to tan and preserve them. In cold countries, shoes were made from animal skins to give better protection and keep the feet warm. A piece of treated skin with holes punched around the edge was put under the foot and laced with a leather strap that acted as a drawstring to hold the shoe in place around the foot. This was an early example of the moccasin.
All right. Okay. I think the animal skins was used to make clothes. Started with the grass and fiber and ended up with animal skins. Okay, I'll go with the fourth one. Okay, just make sure you don't have to give so much time because these questions don't carry much weight. Okay. All right. What lecture is mainly about. Okay, the single answer, multiple choice single answer.
How do we come to know that a person is suffering from bulimia? There are certain symptoms that characteristically define a bulimic. Most of the bulimics overeat and then indulge in compensator behaviors like vomiting, using laxatives, etc., to flush out the food that they have eaten. This they do to remove the calories that they have consumed. Some use a combination of all forms of purging, while some restrict themselves to a few. Now, there is a problem with diagnosing bulimics. Mostly what happens is that bulimics perform these purging and binging behaviors in secrecy and are able to maintain an average or above average body weight, because of which they are considered to be having normal eating habits. They can successfully hide their problem for years. These purging and binging behaviors can range from once or twice a week to several times a day. It is also common that bulimics will diet heavily between these binging and purging behaviors. Hence, half of the people with anorexia may develop bulimia as well.
Okay, so she was talking about some kind of disorder in the person eats a lot. I think it's either second or the fourth one. Characteristic of bulimics, binging and purging cycles were definitely there. I think it's mainly about the characteristic. Okay, I'll go with this one. Okay, click next. Okay, this is select missing word. Okay, make sure you listen to the recording from the very beginning.
Tsunami is a series of huge waves that can cause great devastation and loss of life when they strike a coast. The waves are generally caused by an underwater earthquake, a volcanic eruption, submarine rock slide, or more rarely, by an asteroid or meteoroid crashing into water from space. Most tsunamis are caused by underwater earthquakes, but not all underwater quakes cause tsunamis. An earthquake which is over the magnitude of 6.75 on the Richter scale
discuss may cause tsunami. Okay, the quake which is about 6.7 on Richter scale may cause tsunami. Okay. Okay, another one.
Bookkeeping is the subject that keeps a record of all financial transactions done by either an individual or an organization of any sort and size. While keeping record, one has to have a detail of all that is bought or sold, owned or owed, inflow or outflow of money, besides keeping the record of the available balance with the individual or the company.
That is interesting. And what are the various methods involved in bookkeeping?
There are two common methods that an organization or business adopts. The first kind, that is single entry bookkeeping system, uses the detail of only the income and expenses and is an ideal method to be adopted by small businesses. And the double entry system, on the other hand, one has to write each transaction twice, that is using
I think debits and credits. Okay, let's click next, move on to the next question. Okay, highlight incorrect words. Okay, these questions are really very challenging. Okay, concentration is the key.
The forward basic movement for salsa starts with a tap left on the first beat, a step forward on the same foot, a rock back onto the right foot, and the sequence is finished by stepping back left to close. This forward basic movement is followed by the back basic movement. Tap right, step back right, rock forward left, and close right. Generally, the woman always mirrors the man's steps. So, while the man performs a forward basic movement, the woman performs a back basic movement and vice versa. Throughout the world, there are variations on how the basic movements for salsa are performed, and there is also much controversy over which beat of the music you should break on, that is, change direction, forward, back or side.
Okay, so let's click next. Okay, another one.
Now, how was the wheel actually invented? What inspired man to invent the wheel? Well, this was all not sudden. It was a gradual change. Earlier humans did not have any methods to move heavy loads, except for lifting them. However, man discovered that heavy things could be moved more easily if a round thing, like a tree trunk, was placed underneath it, so that the load could be rolled over it. Another way that humans found to move heavy objects was to use the sledge. Humans prized that a sled could be dragged to move a heavy load. When a sled and a wedge were put together, it led to the invention of the sledge.
Okay, right from dictation, last three questions.
In physics, we are bound to use scientific concepts.
Okay, so I didn't write in physics because I remembered it, so I wrote the rest of the sentence. So in physics, we are bound to use scientific concepts. In physics. In physics, we are bound to use scientific concepts. Okay, so yeah, it looks all right. Okay, let's click on to the next two.
Very few inputs influence the U.S. economic system as much as oil prices.
Okay, very few influence American as much as oil prices. Okay, I think I forgot what was American economic system. Okay, that was not very good. I forgot what was American. I think it was American economic system as much as all. Okay, very few inputs influence American economic system as much as oil prices. Okay, very few inputs influence system. Okay, going to click next and move on to the last questions of this test.
The emergence of internet endangers the readership of print media.
The emergence of internet endangers the of print media readership, sorry, okay, the readership of print media. Okay, the emergence of internet endangers the readership. Okay, so endangers the readership of print media. Okay, the emergence of internet endangers means it puts into the danger, it's a verb. Okay, endangers, because this is a third person singular, the emergence of internet endangers the readership of print media. Okay, just in case if you don't know about the the things like where to put s or not, you always look for the grammar, because the sentences they are given for either right from dictations or the repeat sentence, they are always grammatically correct. Okay, so you can always say, okay, here it should be s because of this is the subject, which is third person singular. Okay, okay, emergence, I think it's wrong, my bad, it's emergence. I'm pretty sure the emergence yeah, it should be E, or I'm pretty sure, okay, it's E. Emergence of endangers the readership of print media. Okay. Okay, let's finish the test now, and we'll see the how much score we got, and we'll do the analysis and see the correct answer if there are any wrong.